Well, I've learned judo, dived over coral, become a TV chef, and had many exciting adventures. And today, I'll be reliving the most memorable moments of Emirati. I've met so many fascinating people, done so many different things, and learned so much about my country that it's hard to know where to start. I guess the logical place is with my guests.
And what an array of successful Emiratis they were. So many guests. So many places to go. So many new things to learn about. Fashion, cooking, design. My guests took me to openings, to the beach, and down the red carpet.
We've met artists, animators, and sportsmen, people at the start of their career and people at their peak. But they all have one thing in common. They all remember that first moment they found their passion.
And for Emel Murad, her sister too wasn't surprised by her siblings' choice of career.
She was a fashion designer to me since I was a kid, so this is not something new for me.
And do you like her designs?
I love it.
You're wearing one right now?
Sure, I always wear her designs.
You didn't just wear it because you knew she was
I wouldn't wear something I wouldn't like. And I wouldn't just wear something just because she's my sister.
Filmmaker Ali Mustafa also realized his calling as a child.
I've been making films since as early as 9 years old. If I didn't have my brothers or my cousins or my friends around, I used to use my toys and do a lot of stop-motion animation.
What were some of the titles?
Well, some of the titles are films like Baby Batman, Baby Bond.
While other children were playing with their toys, Maryam Hassani was experimenting with interior design. How old were you when you first started designing?
I was pretty young. I mean, maybe 10, 12, something around like that. That's when we actually shifted to this home as well. So it was time for whole renovation.
Miriam was always a very creative child. She was always she was the soul of the family. She was the designer of the house. Every morning we'd go to school, we'd come back. During school, and she wasn't doing much studying, I guess, because she was thinking about what she wants to do in the room when she gets back. So we're moving the bed around, moving the sofa around, moving the TV around. She would paint her own walls.
But some of my guests, like jockey Ahmed Shtibi, found their passion much later in life. He got to ride his first horse, aged 22 years old. Brenda Cook was hired to try and train him. She was daunted by the task.
It was impossible, to be really honest. He'd, like I said, no track manners, no education with horses. He was a camel boy. First day I met Ahmed, he didn't turn up in time for work, so...
He wasn't on time? You weren't on time?
He wasn't even in the area, so we went out riding and he rang. Where's my horse? And I said, go home. He said, you're late. He says, I am here now, where's my horse?
Architect Imran Al-Awais was also in his early 20s when he changed his career path.
I started, I think, the wrong major. I started civil engineering. Once I submitted my exam, I was telling the professor, when I'm going to draw, I need to draw and I need to put the doors or the windows. He said, no, your task is to read the drawings and execute them. So I was really shocked after a year and a half that I was studying the wrong major. And then later on, he advised me that I have to change to architecture, and that's what I did.
Environmentalist Major Ali was in his 30s and in the Navy when he decided to take up his life's work.
When the first war came, Gulf War, we must be beside our country, and that's where I joined the Navy and start doing, the sea mine, and I started the first unit in the army for the sea mine. I saw many pollution, spill oil in everywhere, and you will see something which is hurt you really from inside to destroy your country like this.
Sometimes, of course, my guest's parent, like cartoonist Muhammad Harab's father, had very different ideas about their future careers.
I was thinking it could be officer because I was in the army for 20 years, or in the police, or pilot, or doctor. But when he starts, and I think this is his road, so why not I support him.
Fatherly advice could also confuse, as Ali Saloom explained.
He said, why don't you join hospitality? To me, it was like he's telling me, why don't I want to be in hospitals? So I said to him, I hate doctors and I hate to wear the white robes. It's not really my thing, so just it's not an option at all. He's like, son, calm down. This has nothing to do with hospitals. Hospitality means, fandaqa wa siyaha, which is in English is like travel and tourism.
Sometimes the process of starting up was easy. Other times it was more of a struggle. For many of our guests, they had trouble convincing their friends, family, and everyone else that what they wanted was more than just a dream.
This was certainly the case with jeweler Azz al-Kubaisi, filmmaker Ali Mustafa, and Fareed creator Muhammad Harab.
The biggest problem was that all the people I was seeking funds from and all the people who thought they can run a business told me this is something very risky, something that could not be funded, you cannot make your money back. But on the flip side, all these university students that I went to see wanted to see something like this. So the market was telling me it's possible, yet nobody wanted to take the risk. But finally, after 3 years, it paid off. I got the fund and it went very well.
It wasn't easy. I had to be very persistent, and at the same time, I got the right kind of support from them as an Emirati to, end up being the first one to exhibit.
A lot of people underestimate what happens on movies. I mean, usually films consist of a lot of crew. It takes a lot to make a film. City of Life, in particular, had quite a large crew.
Obviously, you've got your director,
It's the gaffers,
the lighting department,
the best boys, the
wardrobe, hair,
you'd have the runners,
stunt players.
Every day we would have about 100 people on set. And every single particular person on set was an asset to the whole process of making this film.
Coming up, my look at the best of Emirati continues, and how I found that some things aren't as easy as they seem.